Number three, when using the washroom. So you visited the lavatory for number two. Read between the lines. Number two is the long call. Our setting is very different from our Muslim brothers and sisters. For most of us, we use tissue rolls when we visit the lavatory for a long call. For our Muslim brothers and sisters, their washrooms, they have what you call a budget. And that budget is what they use to clean their posterior after the long call. They even have an equivalent in most of their houses. Even the modern apartments that they're building, their washrooms have the budget. Their homes, when they build their homes, they have a budget. For those who may not have, when they visit the washroom, you will usually see them walk around with a bottle or a basin that they can use after they are done with number two. They use it to clean their posterior. For us, it's very different. We have tissue rolls upon stacks of tissue rolls. And this is where now our level of cleanliness differ. The difference is very clear. When you use tissue rolls to dry yourself, usually you end up spreading the fecal matter. This is why when you look at your undergarments, they tend to have a stain, the fecal stain. So it's very important for you to use wipes. Let me piggyback. In most of our houses, we don't have those budgets. And if you have one, you're lucky. So how do you clean yourself? Because as I've explained, using tissue, you end up spreading the fecal matter. So you haven't cleaned yourself properly. So what will be the best alternative solution? Hanan, they have those wet wipes, which you can use when you visit the lavatory for the long call. The idea is once you're done, you're supposed to clean your posterior, you're supposed to wipe, that is, your posterior properly with the wet wipes first. Wipe until you don't see any visible fecal sweat stains. Then you use the tissue roll to dry your posterior. That way, you won't leave any fecal stains on your undergarments or in your undergarments. So how does this affect individuals with bromhidrosis, especially in the inguinal areas? When you use tissue rolls or a tissue paper to dry, or not to dry, to actually clean fecal matter after the long call, you don't completely achieve, the cleaning, the cleanliness level compared to an individual who's using the budget. So what happens? You're using a tissue roll, you're done, and then during the day, you start sweating. Now, just want you to picture this. You used a tissue roll and you didn't achieve the highest level of cleanliness when it comes to wiping your posterior after the long call. So you have fecal stains, and then you sweat, and the sweat plus the fecal stain, do I really need to explain the type of smell, the odor that comes out of all that mixture? You're right. It's not good. And bear in mind that the inguinal areas, the pubic area and the trunk, the sweat gland that is predominantly in those areas is apocrine gland. And bacteria loves an environment that is moist and warm. So you're sweating and you have fecal stains around your posterior. When those two combine and there is apocrine gland that is producing the sweat with that pungent smell, this is why you end up having a very offensive odor from those areas. When those two mix, the sweat and the stain, it becomes disastrous. This is why you should invest in the Hanan wet wipes if you can get them. They are very affordable. We're looking at around 400 shillings. Get a pair for yourself, a pack for yourself, which you can have it in your office. For the ladies, you can have a pack of it in your handbags so that when you visit your friends or whoever, at least you clean yourself properly. And you know, some of this fecal matter also depends on your diet, what you're feeding. Well, for some of us, when we go for the long haul, it's usually atomic dissolution, capable of causing World War III in the house, read between the lines. We're different based on our diet. The smell also is as a result of what you're feeding yourself. So also consume a lot of fruits and vegetables. Fruits, drink a lot of water. It helps. It really does. So invest in some of those wet wipes when you're visiting the lavatory for number 2. If you have the budget, well and good, use it to clean your posterior. Incorporate these useful tips into your regimen and share your progress. Share your progress, and we value your feedback. Thank you, and have a wonderful day ahead, and welcome to the situationship.